everyone. Welcome to No Makeup Monday. I'm Michelle Cashat, and in just a few seconds, I'm going to talk about what everybody on the planet is talking about right now, or at least in the United States, the solar eclipse, and what you really need to be safe. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, I'm Michelle Cashat. I'm an author and speaker. Most of you who are on here just jumped on. You know who I am. But if you're new, it's so nice to meet you. I do these little No Makeup Mondays, short videos, maybe about 15 minutes or so. And the point of No Makeup Monday is not because it's only for women. I know I'm talking about no makeup, but the idea is to be completely without pretense, to just sit and talk about, good morning, Amy, good morning, Lena, to talk about, to create a safe space for honest conversation about those difficult tensions between real faith and real life. That's what it's all about. That's really to have one place once a week for a short time for us to talk about kind of the hard things about real faith, real life here. And hopefully at the end of it that you have some encouragement, something to take with you into the week. So today we're talking about what you really need to be safe today. But before we get to that, I want to say, hey there, Shannon, Susan, I see all of you. By the way, you see me doing this, it's because I have progressives now. And that means my eyes are not working and I have to turn my head to be able to read the text on my screen. Oh my gosh, when did I get old? Hi, Nancy. I'm so glad you guys are here. Do me a favor. As we go through the video, if there's anything you really like or that really strikes you, you can click the like button, click the love button, or my favorite, the wow face, because hello, wow face is very cool. You can also leave a comment below, and what I want you to do before we get into the content today is simply leave a comment letting me know where you're watching from, and that's whether you're watching live or watching the video later. Oh, I see some wow faces. See, you guys are so good. Leave a comment below where you're watching from and whether or not you plan to watch the eclipse today. So if you think it's really, really cool and you can't wait, or you're so annoyed by everybody talking about it that you'd rather not. So leave it in the comments, and I check back there throughout the day. Oh my gosh, I just saw about 20 wow faces. I'm so incredibly happy. So leave that in the comments. I'll check it later today, and we'll keep interacting throughout the day. All right. So today is the solar eclipse, and it really is a moment in history. In fact, the last time we had a solar eclipse here in the U.S., it was 1979. Some of you watching were not alive then. I'm sorry we cannot be friends anymore, but I was 8 years old, and I remember it. I remember what a big deal it was. I remember all the teachers freaking out because they didn't want the kids to look at the sun. In fact, let's just talk about that for a minute. This is kind of risky. The sun is extremely powerful and it's dangerous. I mean, it's good. We need it. But I woke up this morning, seriously, one of my first thoughts this morning was, God bless all the teachers in the United States today. I mean, seriously, God bless them. I cannot imagine having, 25, 30 children outside watching the eclipse and trying to keep them all from taking their glasses off and looking at the sun. So, oh my goodness, if you're a teacher, I'm so glad I am not, and I'm so glad you are. Bless your heart. So the whole point of today is that the moon's going to eclipse the sun, depending on where you're located. You'll see a different percentage of that eclipse. But if you plan to watch it, you need to have glasses. So, just so you know, yes, I have my glasses. I cannot see you at all right now. But they're pretty glam, and I'm looking forward to being fully prepared while I go now. But, even with glasses, it's somewhat risky, right? Because we're talking about the sun here. The sun is, well, it's the reason that we can live on this planet and survive. It's extremely powerful. It has the power to give life and also take life. We see that all the time. I mean, there's so many people that die from sun exposure, and at the same time, without sun, we would freeze to death. And so it's just it's just this extremely powerful thing that we have no control over. We can get some protection with glasses, but we really don't have control over it. And it made me yesterday think of a quote that I read in this book called It's called Knowing God. I know it's backwards, but it's called Knowing God by J.I. Packer. I'll put a link to this book in the Facebook Live once it's posted. So if you want to get it yourself, I'll have a link for you. But J.I. Packer said this: wisdom without power would be pathetic, but power without wisdom would be frightening. Now think about that for a second. Wisdom or protection without power is pathetic, but power without protection is terrifying. So think of any ruthless dictators who had complete power, but that power wasn't tempered with wisdom or love or protection. Now the flip side is absolute love and protection and wisdom without any power is pathetic. So let's talk about my dog for a second. She's almost 15 years old. Her birthday's next Monday. This dog has been through 6 children. I mean, that right there should earn her some kind of award. She is the most loving dog. She loves our entire family. She's so kind. But let's just be honest. She's 15. When a stranger comes to the door now, all she does is roll over and go back to sleep. She is of no value to us when it comes to protection. 0. She pretty much sleeps about 22 hours of the day. She wakes up to eat, to go outside, to occasionally lick herself, and then she's done. She goes back to sleep and takes a nap. So that's an example of 100% love and wisdom and kindness with 0 ability to protect. And so what you and I really need is something that gives us both power and protection. The sun is all power, and we have to get protection somewhere else. We could have protection, but without the sun, we wouldn't be okay either. We need one source of both. And this is what J.I. Packer goes on to say in this quote. I'll read it one more time. Wisdom without power would be pathetic. Power without wisdom would be merely frightening. But God, boundless boundless wisdom, and endless power are united. Did you hear that? I mean, this is a big deal. If God was merely powerful, but without any kind of love or wisdom, we would have every right to be absolutely terrified of him. If he was all love and had no power to do anything, then that would be sweet, but I certainly couldn't trust him to have my back and protect me. But in God is both. Perfect power, perfect protection. And this week, ironically enough, I've been reading through Psalms, and this week I read Psalms 84 this past week. And in it is this verse, Psalm 84:11. For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. Did you hear that? For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk his blameless. Lord Almighty, blessed is the one who trusts in you. That's the point of all of this. The only thing that we can really trust is not a pair of glasses, is not a dictator or a leader, or even my sweet little dog. The only one that has both, that is both a sun and a shield, all in one person, all in one being, is God himself. This is what we really need to be safe. And I'm not trying to be cheesy. I mean this literally. Life is scary. It is hard. We have good reason to be terrified. I mean, watch the news for 15 minutes and you're going to feel it, right? We have every reason to be terrified, but our God is a sun and a shield. A sun and a shield, and that means that no matter what happens today or tomorrow or the day after, we can trust him and we have no reason to be afraid. All right, so this is my challenge for you today. 1, I want you to share this with somebody. I'm, in just a second, once I end this video, I'm going to go in my kitchen. I'm going to make my kids eggs sunny side up because, hello, it's the perfect breakfast for a solar eclipse. But I'm going to sit down with them and I'm going to talk to them about Psalm 84:11, that the Lord God is our sun and our shield, that we have no reason to fear, that we can trust. So I want you to find one person today that you can share this with. You can either share the video itself using the share button, or you can simply talk to them about Psalm 84:11. That's it. talk to them about the reality of that and what that means for them today. That could be a child, a spouse, a neighbor, a friend, coworker, you name it. But this is the second thing I want you to do. When the solar eclipse happens today, if you're watching it or even if you're not, it's going to be here in my area around 11:47 a.m., I believe. I simply want you to participate in that by saying thank you to God for being both your sun and your shield. Your sun and your shield. Just thank Him for that and allow yourself for a minute to exhale and rest in the fact that He is perfect power and perfect protection for you. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. As always, I love you. Love spending the time with you and doing life with you. See you next Monday.